Assalamu alaikum. I hope so you're all doing fine. I'm Dr. Muhammad Ali Rabani and we are going to discuss the next topic, arteries of the posterior compartment of leg. There are two arteries to be discussed here. Uh, we will discuss posterior tibial artery and the fibular or peroneal artery. The posterior tibial artery is a terminal branch of popliteal artery. It arises in the popliteal fossa just below the lower border of popliteus muscle at this point where it divides into the anterior tibial and posterior tibial artery. So, posterior tibial artery, uh, what is its route? It runs on the back of the thigh. In the deep compartment, it passes through the tendinous arch, anterior or deep to the soleus muscle, and runs on the back of the tibialis posterior initially, then between the digitorum and on the back of digitorum basically, and it runs down all the way and it goes to run behind the medial malleolus in flexor retinaculum, and it ends here by dividing into the medial and lateral plantar arteries. So it is the basic origin, termination and basic route. Let's dive into the root a little more. So, when talking about root and relations, you will say that it after arising it passes deep to the soleus. So it will have in the posterior relation, what structures will it have? It will have soleus muscle there, and as you can see, it is crossing the posttibial nerve anteriorly from lateral to medial aspect. So it will have this nerve crossing it, tibial nerve crossing it posteriorly, and it will move down. It will have flexor retinaculum posteriorly, or these structures are related to it superficially. Deep to it, as you can see, initially there is tibialis posterior. As we move down deep to it, there is extensor flexor digitorum, and as you go down deep to it, there will be the tibia, lower end of tibia, and then there will be the capsule of the ankle joint. So these are the structures that are related to it deep or anteriorly. Branches. So it will have posterior tibial recurrent artery going back to the anastomosis of knee joint, sometimes a branch of posterior tibial artery, sometimes branch of popliteal artery, and it has fibular artery, and then it goes down. It has this main branch that we'll discuss in the next slide, that is the peroneal artery. It have a numerous muscular branches, nutrient artery to the tibia, and as move down, here is the branch to the malleolar artery, medial malleolus, communicating branch to the peroneal artery, and we move down branches to the calcaneum, and the two terminal branches will also be included, that will be lateral and medial plantar arteries, not mentioned here. Let me add. So these are its branches. So let us now go through all of these things again on the model here. Let me start here. So this is the artery on the posterior aspect of tibia with the posterior aspect of leg with the superficial structures removed. This is the popliteal artery with its different branches. Just as the lower end of the popliteus, it divides, and as you can see, it will have the anterior artery here going forward, and then this is the posterior tibial artery. Initially the artery is lateral and the nerve is medial. It moves down and it is on the medial aspect, then it moves deep to the soleus muscle. Here is the soleus muscle cut, and it is moved down. It gives rise to this peroneal branch, and it is having vena comitante on each side of it, and it will give rise to numerous muscular branches going on each side. It will go down, lying now on the back of digitorum. It will go back and it will pass under the flexor retinaculum, and this is the point where it is palpated between the extens flexor digitorum tendon and flexor hallucis tendon. So its relations will include the soleus tendon, soleus muscle, and gastrocnemius on the back superficially, the crossing tibial nerve on the upper end, and as we move down and the end, it will have flexor retinaculum superficially. On the deep aspect, it will have tibialis posterior, flexor deuterum longus, and the capsule of knee joint, ligaments of knee joint, and then there are lower end of tibia 2. So this is about this nerve and this artery. Let us move back to peroneal and fibular branch. This is the branch that is given as it enters the deep compartment. It is a branch of posterior tibial artery. It runs down and it runs inside or under the cover of flexor hallucis longus. Sometimes it runs inside the muscle also. It runs down all the way inside or beneath the muscle and goes down all the way to the lower end, and it ends by giving the terminal branches. So it gives rise to the nutrient artery of fibula. It gives rise to numerous muscular branches. It gives rise to the perforating branches going to the lateral compartment. It gives rise to the last perforating branches going into the anterior compartment, and then there is lateral malleolar and lateral calcaneal branches. Let us see them here. So this is the fibular artery arising from the posterior tibial artery. It has number of muscular branches. So these are the perforating branches. This one, like this one, this one, this one. They are crossing the posterior intermuscular septa and crossing the flexor hallucis muscle and supplying the lateral compartment muscles. That is why the lateral compartment did not have any nerve of its own. It runs under the flexor hallucis muscle inside or under the cover of it. It runs back and it goes down. It gives rise to these branches, the ones that are going to supply the lateral malleolus. These are malleolar branches. These are calcaneal branches, like this on the medial aspect of your calcaneum. And then there is a communicating branch joining the corresponding communicating branch of the tibia. And very important one is the anastomotic branch, perforating branch, not very clearly shown here, so I am taking you back to this picture. So this is the branch, this is the one, the perforating branch that goes front, into the front to join the dorsal spadius artery, and where it is anterior tibial artery, to reinforce that artery. And the smaller the anterior tibial artery is, the larger this perforating branch will be. So this is about the peroneal and fibular artery. So this communication is shown very nicely here in the shaded area, the artery of the back, and it is coming forward. So this is about it. I think I did not talk about these. I will talk about all of these branches. Okay, thank you. If you have any questions, suggestion and feedback, please let me know. Don't forget to follow the page and see, explore all of the other videos. I'm continually making new one for the help. See you in the next lecture, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.